Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Let's see how long I last. Thank you for coming back to the channel, even though I was unceremoniously dumped out of my last live stream and prohibited for a temporary amount of time from coming back up. Wasn't that bizarre? We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that and a lot of other things. He cooked them. Wasn't that a spectacular State of the Union? I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of things that are happening. The world is changing. So what do, though, while people are coming in? I play videos to entertain you and inform you and give you time to get a cup of coffee or a cold brouhaha, or an adult libation, or a cup of tea, whatever you want. So anyway, folks, I'll play my videos, and then what will we do? We will be like butter and get on a roll.
If they come to our state, it's an invasion, it's an occupation. People are being kidnapped, not detained, not arrested, kidnapped. Rhetoric like that, and the stance that your party has taken from top to bottom, from Governor Walz all the way down, that there is no legitimacy to federal authority, is nothing less than insurrectionist rhetoric. And that is why, take your moment, I got mine. Take your moment to digest that. Look it up. The number of lawyers that are laughing at me right now. Do you understand how the Supremacy Clause works? Do you understand what insurrection is? It's the undermining of federal authority. January 6th, thank you so much for bringing that up. You guys went on and on and on about that for what, 4 years? Yeah, it's still celebrated as a holiday on your side of the aisle. One riot on one day. It's an attack on democracy. You ran an entire election on it. For months and weeks on end, we have had the top law enforcement officer in this state, the governor in this state, the mayor of Minneapolis, and many of you actively undermine federal authority when it comes to immigration law. And acting upon that rhetoric, people like Renee Good and people like Alex Preddy put themselves in harm's way. They did what you
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Point of order. Personality is not allowed in debate. We are not going to allow you. We are not going to allow you to impugn community members who have been murdered by the federal government. How dare you? That is shameful.
President, you mentioned multiple times foreign influence over the Supreme Court. Do you have evidence of that? And if not, will you investigate that?
You're going to find out.
President, you mentioned multiple times foreign influence over the Supreme Court. Do you have evidence of that? And if not, will you investigate that?
You're going to find out.
The one place where we thought we would never experience this is the U.S. goddamn states.
Storm zone. Yes, sir. I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined. Now the gloves are off.
told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time. He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies. Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you all are doing well. How many of you were present for my live stream that was unceremoniously removed from UTizzle? I was fired up that night. I was on a dark chocolate and peanut butter high. And I had my brain full of my opinions. And my stream was interrupted, taken down. I'll go over that a little bit. And I was not allowed to post again on YouTube. My content was removed midstream. So, and I couldn't go back up. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Robin. Nice to see you. Elva, Rain, Todd, Cole. Nice to see everybody coming in. Hello, Melinda. Well, let me see. What was that? To zero. Yeah, I had to zero up, and they took me down. Right. Well, it was weird. Not really weird. I've been through it a lot. It was a false accusation. Wayne, nice to see you. Cole. Oh, I already said hi to Cole. What's all right? I'll say it twice. Ha, ha, ha. Roland's here. Nice to see you, Roland. Thank you all for coming in. Wayne's giving me a thumbs up. Ha, ha. I hope you all are giving me a thumbs up. Robin, are you giving me a thumbs up? Mountain's here. Make sure, and if you're watching after the live stream, thumbs ups are very important. We can trick the algo and then the rhythm, right? Ha ha. EDK, nice to see you. Darla. Okay, everybody. I was taken down midstream. I was accused of something I did not do. I don't know if I uploaded the screenshots of that, but it was totally off base. I told you all about my channel being totally wiped out, taking down all my videos, 850 videos, all gone. And I appealed it. And I won the appeal. And they restored my channel. And do you know how hard that is to get done? How many times you've heard of people in the past that have been taken down? Well, I appealed this thing they did to me night before last, and I won that too. So, I don't know what's going on. We'll have to see. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Nice to see you. Who'd I miss? I miss anybody? If I miss anybody, I apologize. Pappy's here. Pappy Two Bears. All right. So, anyway, he cooked them. He cooked, no fork necessary. You can look at them till they're done. They're done. And, prior to the State of the Onion, they were putting up their goofball little points. And, they think they're on top of the world because they have. They have $1 trillion the value of an industry is what it can produce for you. That's what the industry is worth. And I'm talking about the mainstream media. Yeah, you could buy them all up for, I don't know, billions, maybe not $1 trillion, but you could buy them all up for $1 billion. But their real value is the narrative, the mind's eye. What I was going to talk, maybe that'll get me in trouble again for mentioning the mind's eye. The propaganda value is in the trillions. Hi, Greg. Nice to see you. Sparky's here. Oh, it's Mr. Kibler. How you doing? Ha, ha, ha. So anyway, the value is in the trillions, and they're losing their grip on the mainstream media. I want to, not totally though, because after the State of the Onion, I was watching the feed, of course, smoke coming out of my ears because I was not able to broadcast the night before. Mac, nice to see you, Mac. But anyway, I grabbed some screenshots. This State of the Union was one for the ages, okay? One for the ages. I put in there, stand up, in my thumbnail because I'll play a clip of it. Not a single Democrat, Adam Francisco, he's a young man who successfully got a kidney transplant, by the way. Not a single Democrat stood up when Trump said, if you agree with the following statement, please stand up to show your support. Elected officials should put Americans first, not illegals. And they all sat there on their keisters. He also said that what they were putting forth were dirty, rotten lies. So here's what we was going on the Utizzle feed, at least my feed. Midas Trash Network. The People's State of the Union live. Did you all see any of that garbage? Any of that garbage? 109,000 people watching. A bunch of lunatic lefties going cuckoo. But they have a following. They've been, I feel, promoted unfairly, unfair advantage of our other channels. You know, you look at the way I get treated. The language they use, the slurs they throw out, the insults, the slander, libel, and they're fine. They're fine. I say something halfway sideways, and I'm a bully. Right? And I get taken down. So, anyway, this is one I noticed that cracked me up. CBS News live. Abigail Spanberger's, I thought it was Spamberger, I don't know. Democratic response. Look at that, 132 watching. Who is this woman? Where did she come from? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. A state with a Republican governor, popular, state's doing great, and then boom, you get this Marxist-centric nobody that pops in and becomes governor. How'd that happen? Well, we'll have the answer. So here, CNN, after the State of the Union, where Trump put out statements that were just earth-shaking. Earth-shaking. What does CNN put up? Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger hammered Donald Trump. And then I didn't even read this. Let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. What about affordability? About, stupid crap. Oh, but that's what ABC puts up when Trump says things that shape the world. shape the narrative going forward. Who's this now? Oh, this is ABC. Is the president working for you? She asked. Spanberger said Trump offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he's actively making worse. This is not what our founders envisioned, not by a long shot. That's who they highlighted. The screen was flooded with garbage from Abigail Spanberger. Oh, and don't forget this. CNN puts this out. Al Green he doesn't have his pimp cane, at least not that I can see. Black people aren't apes. Al Green was escorted out of the House chamber. Yeah, get that bum out. Anyway, they made idiots of themselves. Trump showed them for what they were. I was going to play this in my intro videos. Here's what somebody came up with in Japan. What a glimpse as to what other people around the world thought of the State of the Union. The worldwide response. What a mess they were. How foolish they looked. No wonder 40 of them boycotted Donald Trump. Here's the kind of rhetoric they used right here. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He's gonna set it all straight after the State of the Union on social media. Who is he? I bet you're too ashamed to show your face.
People have asked whether or not I'm going to attend the State of the Union address. I'd rather stick needles in my eyeballs. This man is a pathological liar, and I'm not going to dignify this speech by sitting there after he tells one lie after another. These are not normal times. This is not business as usual, but I will be there to call it his bullshit on social media, so stay tuned.
Yeah, call it out. Call it out. Let's hear it. You ain't got nothing, buddy. You're a loser. A big-time loser. Oh, here's another one. This was before the State of the Union, I think. Anyway, Adam Shifty Shift, pencil neck, he wouldn't show up. Trump would have called him out, too.
I will not be attending the State of the Union. Creepo Central. If you didn't see the beginning of my video, there was a representative on the floor of the Minnesota House that was telling them just like it is. Hi, Brush, how you doing? Just like it is with what it's like to be an actual insurrectionist. Hi, Rubber Toe. I'm just looking through the chats. Hi, Melvita. Nice to see you. Watch that. That's another word there, Mountain. Those three letters, they zero in on. They don't like seeing those three letters. That's why I say C.I.A. Have you ever noticed that? That's a hint. I get taken down every foggy day. I don't need any help. I don't need any help. Well, Ilhan Omar was sweating bullets because Trump was calling out the fraud. And what did he say? He was going to put J.D. Vance in charge of finding fraud and prosecuting fraud. So right after the State of the Union, here we see J.D. Vance and RFK Jr.
So we're announcing today that we have decided to temporarily halt certain amounts of Medicaid funding that are going to the state of Minnesota in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money. Now, what is this going to mean? What this means is that, first of all, the providers on the ground in Minnesota have actually already been paid. The state has paid those providers the money. What we're doing is we are stopping the federal payments that will go to the state government until the state government takes its obligations seriously to stop the fraud that's being perpetrated against the American taxpayer. There are a few different ways that we're doing that. There are a few different affirmative actions that we're taking today. Dr. Oz is going to talk about those, but let me talk a little bit about the spirit of this and why we're doing it. So number one of the examples of fraud that we've seen in Minnesota that we verified that is just awful is that a program that existed to ensure that autistic children had access to some after-school services has made a number of people rich, not by providing services to needy children, but by allowing fraudsters to take money that ought by right go to American citizens and to American families and to set up sham businesses, set up sham clients, set up people who are not even autistic but claim to be autistic in order that they benefit from the money that's out there. Now, what does that mean? Number one, it means that a lot of people are getting rich off the generosity of American taxpayers, but more fundamentally and more importantly than that, it means that there are kids in Minnesota who deserve these services, who need these services, and they're not going to those kids, they're going to fraudsters in Minneapolis. That is unacceptable, and that's the sort of thing that we're cutting off with this action today. Let me make one final point about the spirit of this. You know, one of the things I love about our country is that we're a generous country. We're a generous people. We take care of our fellow citizens who can't afford medical care because they're down on their luck. We take care of people who can't afford to put food on the table even though they work hard and play by the rules. We recognize that we're all in this together, and part of the reason why we have Medicaid, or part of the reason why we have food stamps, part of the reason why we have these programs is we want to make sure that kids who grew up in families not all that different from the family that I grew up in, that they have access to the basic necessities: food, medical care, after-school services when their family needs them but they're unable to pay. What's happening in Minneapolis, in California, in a number of states all across our country is that the generosity and the good hearts of our fellow Americans are being taken advantage of. We're taking that social contract that says that our American citizens, we take care of one another, and we're allowing a few bad actors to get rich off that generosity of spirit instead of providing the services to the kids who need it. This is disgraceful. It has happened for too long. Far too many people have gotten rich by taking what is the best of the American spirit and getting rich off of it instead of providing services to kids who need it.
There you go. And I did not have my spectacles on. I said RFK Jr., it's Dr. Oz. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, you know, we all make mistakes. Everybody knows that, especially me. But anyway, so was Dr. Oz, but I'm sure RFK would have been there. RFK would have been there. So anyway, speaking of money going out there, I'm going to go over some of these clips of Trump. So hang in there. Hang in there. We're going to watch some of these clips and have some fun with them. And by the way, I put it in the 22-minute mark. In the chats, I put a link to buy me a coffee, and I want to thank for helping out this week Colette and Miss Mendersu and Wayne for helping out with Buy Me a Coffee. I do appreciate it. That goes to show you that the links work. I'll put some booms in there. That the links work after the live stream. Kapow! So that's for everybody who went to Buy Me a Coffee. So if anybody wants some channel out of totally viewer-supported channel. Anyway, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, too. If you're not subscribed, what the heck's wrong with you? Copeland, pow, pow, pow. All right. So anyway, hi, Felix. How you doing? Nice to see you. So, yeah, Ilhan Omar is on notice. What did Trump say? He came right out and said Somali pirates. Somali pirates were ripping off our country. I wonder if I got that clip. I tell you what, I was going to use this for my thumbnail. Then I came across Dan Scavino put the one up with the laser eyes. He put this one up too, and I thought that I was going to come up with something creative for this picture of Trump leaving the State of the Union. I could have put like a smoke and rubble behind him, like he just destroyed all the demon rats and then left. But I chose this one, which is what Dan Scavino put up. I thought it was cool. President Trump at the State of the Union. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed, they would do it all over again if ever given the chance. Cook them. Where is the Somali pirate? How many? I actually have notes this time around. I don't usually have notes. But to keep these videos straight, I heard also that very shortly after the State of the Union, Iran sent signals that they're ready to make a deal, because I think word went out to them. You're getting ready to get thumped like you've never been thumped before. So we'll see. We'll see. Because Trump's not going to do it halfway. He's not going to do it halfway. He's going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at them. I'm looking for that. Here it is. Here it is, Ilhan Omar. And did you hear her? You know, in my opinion, I think if you look up the word gutter snipe in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Ilhan Omar or her ilk. But anyway, here.
We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA, and it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance.
Yeah, low trust culture, high crime. You know, the American people have got to put two and two together with this Ilhan Omar stuff and this Momdami stuff. Sharia law. And people going to the airport with suitcases full of cash, our money. And you have the call to prayer in New York, London, the major cities. Here's a clip right outside the Vatican. Oh, it's a religion of peace. Islam is a religion of peace. No, it's not. It's always been of conquest. Okay, conquest.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin.
Coming soon to a town near you, 5 o'clock in the morning, loudspeakers waking you up. And what happens if you don't go out there and stick your rear end up in the air to praise Allah? What do you think they do to you? Oh, well, what do they do to everybody else that doesn't play ball with them, right? Here, have you all heard about this? Who's that? Zoran Mamdani. And guess what? He is teaming up with AOC to make sure all illegal children get free health care. You got to look at the translation underneath. This is the last week. Yeah, they're doing it in Spanish. You don't need to worry about English. Learn Spanish, man. Keep up with the times.
Esta es la última semana para que los padres registren a sus hijos para el año escolar 2026-2027. Así que para dar un último esfuerzo, decidí atraer una amiga.
Hola.
Mi español no es el mejor.
No te preocupes, alcalde. Si su hijo o hija está cumpliendo 3 o 4 años en el 2026, usted puede registrarlos gratis en el programa Kinder 3 o Pre-Kinder de la ciudad de Nueva York. Pero debe registrarse el 27 de febrero, que es la fecha límite. Cualquier padre de la familia de la ciudad de Nueva York, sin importar su ocupación, ingreso o...
They are so generous with everybody else's money. I got to play the whole thing because it's a part of history where they're just eating your lunch and popping the bag in your face.
Estatus migratorio es elegible para registrar a sus hijos.
Por mucho tiempo las familias de la ciudad de Nueva York han sufrido una profunda ruina financiera por el costo del cuidado de sus hijos, pagando hasta $26,000 por niño cada año. Eso no es sostenible. Eso no es sostenible, no es justo y no es inevitable.
Hemos hecho el proceso de aplicación fácil, sin importar quién seas. Hay 3 maneras de registrarse. La primera, puede aplicar en línea a través del sitio web en su pantalla. La segunda, puede llamar el número 718-935-2009 y recibir.
Plus, we'll register you to vote when you sign up for our free program.
Recibir servicios en más de 200 idiomas, porque ninguna familia debe ser excluida de nuestros programas solo por su idioma. Y tercero, puede visitar uno de nuestros centros de bienvenida familiar que se encuentran a través de los 5 condados, donde nuestro personal está listo para apoyarlo.
Tenemos el poder de hacer algo diferente. Si aplica. Okay. Si aplica dentro de la fecha límite, el 27 de febrero, su hijo tendrá un cupo garantizado para el programa Kinder 3 o Pre-Kinder.
Porque el cuidado infantil gratuito es una de las formas más importantes con la que podemos lograr tener una ciudad más asequible para todos.
Muy bien. Muy bien. Yeah. Yeah, where is everybody? They might have turned off my notifications. I don't know. Or everybody thought I was finished. That I was finished. Ha ha ha. Miss Menderson. Ben's here. All right. Who else is missing? Yeah, where is everybody? Maybe they did take my notifications. I don't know. I have to go get those emails I got. Said all the terrible things I did. Here are some idiots in Minnesota going around. Hey, they're putting anti-ice stickers. They're vandalizing road signs. Okay? This old fool here, this idiot, is vandalizing stop signs. Are they going to do anything about it? You think so? No. going to give me a damn copyright strike, those dopes. Let me cut that off. I want to see what all they're putting on the signs. Damn idiots. There. I just got to remember to take it off the next one. Oh, stop by. It's so cool. And now what else they got? Yeah, give them a ticket. You know what they really complain when something comes out of their own pocket, like a $50 ticket. Yeah, put this up on your neighborhood sign. I say go ice. So anyway, yeah, let me cut the speaker back on because I'll forget on the next video. So they think they're cool. Come on, speaker, where are you at? Oh, I have to get to the next video. My digits are so pudgy and it's hard to hit the right spots. But anyway, here's the big moment of the night right here. Here's the big moment of the night. Whoa, what's that thing doing up there? There we go. Here's the big moment of the night. Look at this guy. Who is that? I don't know who he is. You know, he's got a Ukraine flag. See it? Flying right next to his American flag. And Rashida Tlaib had a pin on her lapel that said F ICE, but it said the whole word. What has our Congress turned into? A rat hole full of filthy-mouthed, counterfeit citizens sitting in seats of power in our Congress.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Yeah, let that moment get drawn out. Let the cameras pan over all these scummy traitors, and that's what they are. I don't care what anybody says. I tell you what, Trump honored a lot of people that night. I tell you, this was a tough one to, really, it almost brought tears to your eyes. Royce Williams, 100-year-old Navy aviator and Korean War veteran. And Melania put the medal on him. Doesn't he look good for 100 years old? And I tell you what, Trump touched on a theme that I've talked about in the past with people that I tried. Young people that was showing me energy, showing me that they wanted to do a business, but they still had a little socialism in their blood. And I would tell them, we're just a small dot in the line of history that ever tried this experiment of self-governance. And we got to protect that. We can't give it away. Socialism is like anything else. Any other form of tyranny. It's just tyranny. Somebody is supposed to be in charge of running everybody's lives. And Trump brought that up, how 250 years Well, it seems so long, seems like an eternity, especially to young minds. But he brought up that when this man you see on the screen was born, it was 50 years before that. The founding, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams took their last breath. A 50-year gap between when the founders of this nation passed away and the man on the screen you see was born. One lifetime in between. 3 generations. And what do the Democrats do? When you see something like this, you think about this man's sacrifice, the risks he took, what he survived, what he's witnessed in our country, what he represents, and the other people that were given awards, getting shot in the legs, getting shot in the head by illegals, shot in the legs by drug lords, drug cartels, you might as well say. In Venezuela, they make fun of the medals. They make fun of the fact Trump was handing out medals.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal. That's literally Mo just said. You get a car. You get a car. Y'all are on the same page.
These harpies, these, I'm sorry, I should use the term, but I will. These skanks. Okay, I did it. I said it. Haven't done a damn thing for their country. They're smug. They're arrogant. They're worthless. They think they're smart. They're dumb as a box of rocks. They have no morals. They have no loyalty to their own country. They laugh in your face while they pick your pocket. If you complain, they say you're greedy. They don't produce a damn thing. They'd run like hell if there was danger, not stand up like the good men and women that were honored. Speaking of, I didn't get to watch this, so we'll watch this together. And I've got a video of Trump discussing this young lady's situation. This is a young lady who was transitioned. They attempted to transition her and took her from her parents because some deviant claiming to be a scientist, a doctor, or a teacher, whatever the hell they claim they are, was saying she should be a boy. There should be multiple people facing long-term jail sentences. But her name is Sage. And I didn't get to watch this. I uploaded it because I was interested in what she would have to say. This was before the State of the Union, I believe.
President Trump's big State of the Union address is today, and he has a special guest in the audience. I'm reporting that Sage Blair, a young woman who at the age of 14 was convinced by school officials that she was a male and that she should secretly transition and hide it from her parents, will be in attendance tonight. Here's the scoop. Sage Blair, along with her mom, Michelle Blair, will be in the audience tonight for the president's State of the Union address. They are his special guests. Sage, at the age of 14, was convinced that she was a male. She tried to transition at school secretly, and when her mom sued to try to fix this whole situation, the state actually took away Sage from her parents, and now they're reunited. And Sage is a student at Liberty University. Tonight, the president plans on highlighting Sage and her mom and telling her story and using her story to call on states across the country to ban sex transitioning operations for minors. You can expect to see other everyday Americans that are going to be highlighted during the president's State of the Union address. This was something he leaned heavily on last year as well. We also know a big focal point of the president's State of the Union address is going to be the economy, that he is going to use everyday Americans to talk about how life has become more affordable in America, and also to talk about where things are going from here. It's going to be a big night in Washington, D.C. and across America. I'm going to make sure I'm bringing you all the latest today, tomorrow, and through the rest of the week.
You know, when I was doing my video before the State of the Union, I had alluded to, is Trump going to say that we have a corrupt Supreme Court? Is Trump going to say that we have a corrupt Congress? Is he going to say those things? Well, he did two things. He celebrated our successes and he pointed out the corruption. He didn't have a State of the Union that was drenched in anger. He celebrated. He pointed out the good things that have happened and the good things that are going to happen. And he honored the American citizens that are exemplary, have been exemplary, and told everyone that things are going to get better. But at the same time, he pointed out why things are where they got to, the bad part. A very wise way of dealing with it, showing the good and the bad. I think this is the one where he calls them dirty, rotten liars. And maybe I'm wrong. I just looked at this picture of Hakeem Jeffries, who doesn't even know what the hell a tariff is. But anyway, he points them out, says it's your fault. The affordability problem. The media isn't saying a word about the massive savings in healthcare costs. So Trump's got to be the messenger. But anyway, here we go.
They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary. Thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost. In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened, and now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Is that Steny Hoyer? Look at him.
Other presidents tried to do it. They never could. They tried.
What an awful look they gave themselves. You couldn't do that if you tried. You couldn't make yourself look that bad if you tried. Yeah, beef. I was going to bring that up the other night. I remember a report that beef prices were so high because a certain country had the lock on production and packing. Beef production and packing. By production, I mean processing, butchering for a national market. What country you think has got big inroads into beef processing and packaging? China. Ham too, that's why. And pork. I believe they own Smithfield. That's a big one. But anyway, Trump used one of their own slogans against them. When they were running in 2024, they were saying, we're not going back. No, I think it was 2020. We're not going back. Well, that's what Trump's saying this time. We're not going back to their commie crap.
After just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure. Thank you. Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States. but we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments about groceries and rent and stuff like that. Well, let me tell you, it's all supply and demand. The availability of food stamps to tens of millions of people that were not in this country 48 months ago, tens of millions of people came in, 90% of them on some form of welfare, including SNAP benefits. They don't have to shop around for their groceries. They don't care how much the groceries cost because it's free. They don't shop around like you and I do because it's free. That decreases the supply of food. It lowers competition. Oh, we'll just put it out here for whatever crazy amount because somebody's going to come along with a SNAP card. We're talking tens of millions of people that entered the grocery market with a free pass. And that raises the cost. That lowers the need for competition in prices. So prices jump up. The same with rent. Tens of millions of people coming in here over the past 48 months. Houses become scarce. Landlords could say, oh, what I was renting for $800 a month, I can now get $1,200. And guess what? If they're on HUD, it's a guaranteed check. A guaranteed check. How many millions and millions of people were on HUD that didn't even belong in this country? SNAP benefits and HUD payments for rent caused a rise in grocery costs and rent. Hi, Grave. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Let me see what kind of messages you're putting out. If you want a strong economy, I should support fascism. What are you talking about? Prices never go up. Buying power of your dollar falls. Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. It falls because they print money. Print money. So, yeah, you know. Okay, we don't need an economics lesson. I don't mind you in the chats, but, you know, we don't need economics class either. But anyway, yeah, that's right. They print money. I've talked about that many times. That's how they pick your pocket by causing the value of the dollar that you've already earned to fall because they dilute and debase the currency by printing more money. I've been over that 1,000 times if I've been over it once. Anyway, Trump letting the American people know what the Dems were against. They were against these things that people are going to see the benefits of when they get their tax refund, as they receive their checks and have less taxes coming out. The Dems were against all of it.
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Okay, we got somebody who trying to run their own channel on my channel. And I'm probably old enough to be his father's father. And he's telling me I don't know what I'm talking about and I have a microscopic channel. Well, that's because I get rid of people like you who are, as the chat is letting you know, rude. So you can either straighten out or go. What I have here, what you're discussing, I've talked about in over 1,000 videos on this channel and on Rumble. Okay, so I'm telling you not to cram the chats up where people are trying to understand you, but what you're putting in is complicated and way off topic of what we're discussing this for tonight. Hi, Mark. How you doing? So I'm just telling you to cool it, and then you turn it into some personal insult. So and you know, just make some friends and stay on topic. We all know about money being printed. We all know about the Fed. We all know these things and more. So, you know, you come in the channel for the first time and you want to, I don't know, have a talk show or something. You know, you don't do that to chats. You stay on topic. Here's the tariffs. Here's the tariffs. Don't forget the video I played at the beginning that said about foreign influence in the Supreme Court. And Trump said, you'll find out. In the video that my last video, I had in my thumbnail, buyer beware. Trump said that in one of his posts. He said, be careful. All you countries that think you're going to get away with something, don't cause any trouble, because you'll make things worse for yourself. And then he said, buyer beware. Why do you think he said buyer beware? Now I'm asking a question. And if somebody's paying attention, they can answer it. Why did Trump say that? Let's see if some of these galactic minds, I haven't blocked anybody. I haven't kicked anybody out. Let's see if some of these galaxy brains know what Trump was talking about. Any galaxy brains out there? Oh, they got all quiet all of a sudden. The galaxy-brained economics experts. While you're cogitating on that question, Los Angeles, one area of one state. One area of one state. This is something that's coming all across the country. And the sad thing about it is, who's it costing? Costing the American taxpayers. But that's not going to be the case because of several executive orders, well, at least one, where people involved in certain activities will have all their assets confiscated. But anyway, this is what's happening in Los Angeles. The school district in Los Angeles, one area of one state.
LA Unified School Board is borrowing another $250 million in bonds to settle claims of sexual misconduct. These latest bonds are in addition to the $500 million authorized less than a year ago. This is according to the LA Times. The extra money is needed because of a bill that extended the statute of limitations for filing civil lawsuits regarding childhood sexual abuse. The total cost, including financing, is expected to exceed $1 billion. The money will be paid out of the district's general fund over the next decade or so.
billion. $1 billion to settle lawsuits concerning people behaving inappropriately with young people. That doesn't include the lawsuits that are going to be coming for those who altered young people either through a scalpel or through chemically altering their body. I don't see any answers coming through. Trump said he said caveat emptor. He didn't put it that way, but that's what that means. Caveat emptor means buyer beware. His message was to China. You think you're going to get a better trade deal? You think the ruling you bought and paid for is going to get you a better trade deal? Don't play games with me, or it's going to get worse for you. You should have thought about it before you spent all that money to get that ruling. That's what it says to me. Do you all agree? I don't know what other context he could have used. Citizen Free Press. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Let's see. Ilhan Omar asked about the incredible increase of her net worth. Ilhan Omar, she wants Sharia law. The Constitution says I have free speech.
Hi, Congresswoman Omar. You were just talking about how Trump's economy has failed the American people, but I think the American people really want to know how you went from a negative $65,000 before coming into Congress to over $30 million in just 7 years.
My disclosure is public now.
Yeah, it is. And so a lot of people now are looking into that and finding Est Crew Winery, a winery that doesn't actually seem to exist. Is that a real winery, or?
Do you all actually look at and read things, or do you just ask silly questions?
Well, it's listed in the financial disclosure, so can you explain it? Because we have a lot of questions about it, and things just aren't adding up. There's no real phone number. There's no real location.
Why did you want to buy some wine?
Probably not from you, to be honest. Recently stated that the American people should be afraid of the white man. They should be fearful of the white man.
I never said that.
Yeah, you're on video saying it.
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. No, I did not.
Yes, you.
Again, this is like what I said. You need to prepare yourself, because you can't continue embarrassing yourself like this.
So I'm just a liar.
What I was quoting was an actual study done by the FBI.
Okay, thank you.
Just prepare next time.
All right, thank you.
I don't think she should be deported, at least not right away. I think about 10 years. She should serve about 10 years and then get deported. How's that sound, folks? Holy cow. What's going on? I'm trying to get... Give me a little break here. Oh, come on. Wants to be a pain in the buttocks. There we go. Get out of here. I'm trying to get that off my screen. There we go. Here we go. Out of here. Pow! So anyway. Hi, Don Rowe. How you doing? Yeah, Benjamin. Yeah, brotherly love. Yeah, she's practically running. Yeah, do you all? I had that truth in the in my studio where he said, "Buyer beware," and I said, there's only one context that could be in is you bought something that's not going to do what you think. So anyway, I'll just look through the chats. The other thing, too, there was Ilhan Omar talking about her wealth. I saw in the chat said Fetterman was the only one that stood when we should put Americans first. He was the only Democrat that stood. He was the only Democrat that shook Trump's hand also. None of them would even shake his hand. Here is something the hypocrites, when Trump brings up that they shouldn't be able to make corrupt money out of the stock market. The hypocrites get up and stand.
Often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
I called out Nancy Pelosi. That's funny. He called out Nancy Pelosi. And as far, the SAVE Act, pass the SAVE Act, right? Pass the Stock Market Act, the corruption stock market, but he also said the SAVE Act. It should be the absolute next thing they do. Nothing else needs to be done right now. The most important thing to do is the SAVE Act. You think they'll do it?
It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat, and we're going to stop it.
Ha ha ha. He put it right in their face for the world to hear. I wonder what the numbers were. What were the numbers for his speech? Did anybody hear? Oh, they have no clue what's coming. That's right, Debbie. Now, why did he want ID for people to volunteer to shovel snow? Any ideas why Zoran Mamdani wanted two forms of ID for people to volunteer to shovel snow or to get paid? Why do you think? Does anybody have a notion on that? I got my own notion. Biggest numbers in history. I would think. I mean, it got worldwide reaction. Oh yeah, the polls were really good for his speech. Yeah. Why do you think he wanted it ID? Let's see what this one is. This is 42 seconds. Is this? Oh, I already played this one. Was this? Yeah, I already played this one. What the Dems were against. They were against everything that was good for the American people. You know, I wanted to play this earlier. Where did it go? They put it down as a rare moment for mainstream media where they were acting patriotic. I'll have to try to find it. Well, this is before the speech. This isn't them being patriotic. James Carville, before the speech, and the narrative he has been pushing is that Trump's a dictator, Trump's going to declare martial law, Trump's going to be doing mass arrests, Trump's going to be this and that. And it made me think, show them exactly the opposite. Get them in panic mode, get them throwing their slings and arrows and slurs and accusations, and we do it by the book. We don't have to send out a military. We're going to take care of it ourselves. But anyway, here's James Carville and Bill O'Reilly's response.
What I think is going to happen is Virginia and New Jersey are going to be Democratic blowouts. And I think he's going to read the election records. By the way, there are more people that live in Virginia and New Jersey than live in New York City. And we ought to talk also, we talk about things that happen in New York City. We should talk about we got Sterling candidates also in Virginia and New Jersey. And I think he's going to see this big, beautiful bill is about 25 points underwater. It's going to be 30 points underwater. He's going to see a massive defeat coming, and he's going to try to do anything he can to extricate himself from that defeat. And I would not put it at all past him to try to call martial law or declare that there's some kind of national emergency in the country or anything like that, because the hoof prints are coming. You can hear them, and they're going to get a shellacking in November of 2026.
Bill O'Reilly, do you believe the President of the United States is capable of such perfidy as suggested by James Carville?
Well, after hearing Carville, I'm buying a condo in Luxembourg tomorrow. I'm getting out. Martial law, my God. You're going to have tanks in my driveway? No, I don't believe that will happen. I'm willing to bet James 18 muffaletas that there will not be martial law. I'll throw in some crawfish and whatever else he wants. And this kind of, scare tactic, would that be it? I'm not scared. Maybe Stephen A's a little scared. He's got a little perspiration there on his forehead. But I'm not worried about cheating or anything else. I think that the economy will dictate who wins in the midterms. And if the big bill gets passed, people have more money in their pockets. They won't have to worry. Small businesses will hire more because they won't have to worry about higher taxes. The rich, the fabulous rich, will spend more, buy more luxury items. And I want to go on the record as scolding Jeff Bezos, the publisher of the Washington Post. He spends $50 million in Venice. Isn't there anywhere in the USA, Jeff, baby?
Couldn't have done
that
it
you
at
could
the
have dropped
Venetian
the 50
in Vegas.
million?
He could have done it at the Venetian in Vegas. Same thing. Same thing.
Come on.
Yeah, well, you get the point. It's like Bill O'Reilly said, scare tactics. Scare tactics. Carville's trying to build a narrative that Trump is going to be blown out. You heard him say it. New Jersey, Virginia. Oh, you mean these places that had this mysterious unknown person come in and win the governorship? Right after I played a clip of Trump talking about how they cheat in elections. But in their mind's eye, they think they're the majority. They've actually been duped into thinking all these ridiculous notions they have about transgenderism, open borders, and all the garbage we all know about. They actually think that that's a winning recipe, and that the only way Trump can win is call out the National Guard and stop the elections. They are thinking exactly backwards. That's the power of the media. That's the power of a illegal psychological warfare campaign, which I've been over that many times on my microscopic channel. So, anyway, where'd that video go? I got it. Well, we're going to have voter ID in the presidential election. Well, for the midterms, Trump said they're one way or the other. One way or the other. We're going to have voter ID. It's to save our country. Nothing's going to get in the way of that. Wait, man, I think I found that clip. Here it is. A rare moment of, I don't even know which news outlet this guy is, but I guess Citizen Free Press felt like he qualified as mainstream media, acting patriotic for once.
Only in America, a moment that called to mind a picture of this country that it turns out millions of us were missing. I'm talking, of course, about Sunday's USA hockey game. The men's team won its first Olympic gold in 46 years, beating Canada in overtime. And by now, you've seen the images of Jack Hughes, 24, Florida-born, who left blood on the ice, quite literally, before scoring the winning goal and telling a reporter through broken teeth, "This is all about our country right now. I love the USA." 5,000 miles away, those comments, as much as the win itself, rang some sort of a bell in America. It gave people chills, goosebumps, made them cry even. Countless masses took to social media to say exactly that and more. It was everything about this team, a bunch of guys who played Toby Keith in the locker room celebration, drank beers during the post-game press conference. Cheers to you guys. Even thanked the troops in another interview. Hughes was even patriotic in his commentary on American health care.
I'm lucky I'm from the best country in the world, and we got great dentists there too, so I'm lucky I'm American.
They were gracious in victory and big-hearted too, bringing to the ice the children of a teammate who was killed 18 months ago by an alleged drunk driver. They were, in short, American. And nothing about that fact seemed complicated for them, even though we're all grown-ups and we know America is a complicated place. What they remind us is that it is also home, and therefore easy to love.
I guess he was with CBS, but yeah, that was a nice report, and it was a rare instance of them Being patriotic. Being patriotic. You know, there's at least two stories, and possibly a third, I don't know, having to do with Epstein. I'm jumping under the subject real quick. New Epstein-linked politician hospitalized after apparent you-know-what-aside attempt. Former Norwegian Prime Minister Thorbjorn Jagland is facing mounting scrutiny as new details surface, tying the former Nobel Committee. Oh, he was on the Nobel Committee and nobody would nominate Trump. He's tied to Jeffrey E. And he tried to delete himself. Isn't that something? We were told to watch out for you-know-what-aside weekend, right? Are we seeing the beginning of that? Here we have somebody else. CBS News contributor steps down amid fallout from Epstein email revelations. How many have we seen? Oh, you can't step down any farther than deleting yourself. Peter Attia, a physician and prominent voice in the field of longevity science. Did you do any work at the ranch? Has stepped down from his role as a contributor to CBS News after newly released government records revealed extensive communications with Jeffrey E. And I didn't get a picture of him, but you all remember the actor, was it Revenge of the Nerds? He was 71 years old. That's not real old. And he also deleted himself. I'm wondering what that's got. What's that got to do with anything? So anyway, there's two stories that are people exiting stage left because of Jeffrey E. Look what the New York Times put up. And Citizen Free Press said posted without comment. And they posted a copy of the New York Times. P3Dophilia. A disorder, not a crime. What? Yeah, somebody named Carradine. Yeah, I saw that too. Margot Kaplan. Bold enough to put that in there. Who's compelling these types of stories to be put in the supposed paper of record, the gray lady? Somebody trying to get ahead of a narrative? Here we have Donald Trump discussing the tariffs and the Supreme Court, and letting everybody know that nations are still playing ball, because if they don't, they're going to be in worse shape than when they started to pitch, right? So buyer beware. You shouldn't have paid all that money for that court decision.
1,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the Iran clip. I'm sorry about that. This is the one where after he made this statement, Iran put out a statement that they're ready to play ball.
1,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons, yet they continue starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference...
Yeah, he even brought that up about the they can't bring themselves to say the words. Here is just before Trump gave his State of the Union. He had a lunch with the press. You all probably know this guy's name. I forgot it already, but I've seen him out reporting. He's being accurate. And that's strange enough. He's talking about how the lunch went with Trump.
Hey, I just left the White House, where I'm just leaving now. The president did a lunch with network news anchors and offered a bit of a preview of his speech. One notable thing, we did talk about Iran. He said that Iran wants a deal more than I do, but they just can't say the magic words, which he said was that they won't build a bomb. The president said he's going to talk a lot about the economy, and he's going to call for new tax cuts tonight, and he's going to say that the next 3 years in America will be the best years economically that we've ever had, and he's going to say, or he told us, it's already begun. So that's here at the White House, just leaving lunch with the president and network anchors.
Yeah, the magic words. And where's that report on Ruski News that came out? Let me see. Here. This popped up. Iran is ready to take all the necessary steps to conclude an agreement with the U.S. as soon as possible and approaches the negotiations in Geneva with goodwill. That's better than what they've been saying. This was stated by the Deputy Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic, Majid Ravachanchi. I don't know what the hell his name is, but at least they're talking like they're civilized. And hi, Angel, how you doing? And they're saying, Benjamin, I see you. And they're saying that there are talks underway to internally replace the government. There was a coup attempt, which I don't know what the truth of that is, but the former president supposedly was arrested. But they say there's heavy talks going on right now to replace the Ayatollah, for him to voluntarily step down. There's a lot of pressure. So yeah, I've been watching the chats, and who's going to run for mayor? Yeah, I have talked to people in the past. Be involved locally. Be on the school board. Something low intensity, doesn't take a lot of time. Mark was talking about running for local office. You really should consider it, especially if you're mature. That's my term for OLD, right? Mature. If you're mature and retired especially, you should look at your local offices. Look at being on the planning commission. Look at being on the board of supervisors. Look at something where you can make a difference. The school board. You can monitor and supervise a lot of what is happening and ending up on the agenda for children in your community. And you can influence their budget. Are they going to put $1 million towards books that say Heather has 2 mommies? No, not if you're on the school board. You can be inoffensive, not offensive, not combative. You can go in with principles, and go by your principles. And I would encourage people to actively take a look at positions that are coming up for election, and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And you can make a difference in your own community. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will, and they will be making decisions about your tax money and your life. How much real estate tax you pay. And yes, tariffs replacing the tax. Trump came out and mentioned that. Let me see if I have that clip. When he was talking about, which clip is it? Oh, my goodness. I had so many, and it's hard to keep track of them all. Because they come at different times, don't you know? During the day. But, yeah, he was talking about well, it looks like I don't have it in here. But, well, he was talking about it replacing most, if not all, of the income tax. Daggone it, I wanted to play that one too. And that is going to replace that, what I've called the crowning victory of the Marxists back in 1916 when they passed the income tax. That is what, for all intents and purposes, enslaved us. Anyway, here's some of the crap they were pulling while Trump was giving his State of the Union. You know, some of them you really don't care if they watched it or not, because they can't comprehend anyway. They don't want to comprehend. They're just going to be a nuisance and a distraction and an annoyance. So they might as well be out here carrying on. But this might be a woman that was calling them out. I'm not sure. Joy Reid introducing Kilmar Abrego Garcia. What a disgrace that he's still walking around this country. What a disgrace. I have to repeat that Paul Azinas must be removed from the bench for allowing this and causing all this division and misleading the people to get it in their heads that somehow this criminal entity who's been a fugitive from immigration law for over a decade has a right to be in this country.
Joy Reid, you suck! You're a loser! MSNBC fired you because you're a loser! You suck! America first, you can't even get a sizable...
Now, how can that be lawful for that person to stick their hand that close to somebody's face? You know, they go to these classes to be provocative and just go right up to the edge of committing a crime. Now, he'd pull back a stump if he did that with me, or she, or whatever that thing is. But this is a young lady pretty much telling them they're lunatics. Joy Reid.
Crowd! No one's here! It's empty! It's empty! You're all mentally ill! You're simping for a criminal! He is a criminal! He is a criminal! He is a... Yes? What? What do you mean, do I know who you are? Why are you simping for illegal criminals?
No, why are you distracting?
Because I think you guys are losers.
I think you are scum. Why are you here? This is not your event.
Okay, it's a free country, isn't it? Is it a free country? You want to know who the fascists are? You guys. You guys are the fascists. You guys are the fascists.
I don't need any arguments right now. No fighting. They're having their demonstration. Just let it be. There's no need to cause commotion right now at all. You have an opinion, that's perfectly fine. Take it elsewhere. They organized this, you did not. Understand? Over here.
Yeah, I'm walking. Oh my God.
They can come raise hell.
Excuse me. Wow. My tax dollars at work. My tax dollars at work. These police officers getting in my face.
Yeah, they can come raise hell at our stuff, but she tries to say something, and the cops stick up for her, for them. Now, I'm not sure what this one is, what this clip is. Let's see. I'm not sure what this clip is. Ha ha, Al Green getting thrown out.
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure. Thank you. Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are...
Yeah, I just wanted to see Al Green getting thrown out. Goodbye, you bum. I wonder let me see what this one is. Oh, okay, let me see. I got another clip here. I'm not sure what this one is. Wait a minute, let me see. Maybe it's this one. Citizen Free Press. Democrat-controlled city suspends police officers for cooperating with Border Patrol. That's a lawsuit in the making, but like I say, it's going to be the taxpayers paying for this. The Detroit Police Department has suspended 2 officers without pay. Oh, by the way, I put a link for Buy Me a Coffee in the chats earlier. I forgot to say anything about it. But anyway, without pay for 30 days after they contacted U.S. Customs and Border Protection during separate traffic stops. So I would sue. I would sue for a civil rights violation. So we'll see what happens with that. So if you try to protect your country from illegal aliens, you get suspended. You get punished for being a good American. Let's see what is this? Oh my gosh, this is a lunatic woman. This is a real lunatic right here.
Trying to bring back people who were deported by ICE. Can we get your signature real quick for that? Thank you so much. We're with the Bring Them Back campaign. We're trying to bring back Edwin Hernandez from El Salvador. Now, he murdered 5 people in El Salvador, and he's an admitted member of MS-13, but we think he deserves a second chance to come back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Mm-hmm. Now, can you take him in when we get him back? Would you be able to give him a place to stay?
I can do that.
You can?
Maybe.
Okay, can you just sign here that you would be able to, and then we'll email you.
Yeah.
That's so thoughtful of you. He probably just needs a place for, a few months until he gets on his feet. And then we can maybe get him set up to vote, too, before the Republicans pass the SAVE Act, right? And try to make it hard for people who are undocumented to vote. Yeah, perfect. So we'll email you, and then we'll send him to your address.
Okay.
Now, do you have another room for him or a bed that he could stay in?
I have a room, but I have to ask to my husband if it's okay.
Oh, if it's
okay.
Me,
I am okay, but...
So if he just shows up, is that going to be a problem? Or should we check with you first?
Check with me first.
All right, thank you.
Please, do before.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to pick on somebody because of their accent, but I'm going to. Because I told y'all, my mother had an accent all her life. She came over when she was a teenager. And she lived in this country for over half a century, more than that. And she had her accent all her life. So, but yeah, she's not exactly native born there. Yeah, she's an idiot, Mark. Yeah, Debbie, right. My mother spoke good English, but you could tell she had a heavy German accent. But her English wasn't the best. It's not just the accent. So I don't even know how long she's been in this country. This is what it's all about, folks. When you get frustrated and you think things aren't happening fast enough, just remember, it's Donald Trump's call and certain members of the military. It's their call. They tried to smear him. They tried to spy on him. They tried to frame him. They tried to impeach him. They tried to censor him. They tried to deplatform him. They tried to jail him. They tried to disqualify him. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to assassinate him. And he's still standing and fighting for all of us. We love you and thank you, President Donald Trump. Just remember this picture. When you feel that things aren't going fast enough for your case, or that you're not happy with how things are going, he sacrificed his peace of mind. He's put his life in danger. He's put his entire family's lives in danger because he knows if America falls, the world falls. This is for all the chips. So if you feel that you're getting frustrated and things aren't moving fast enough, just remember, you haven't been through what he's been through. How many of us would do what he's done? How many of us would be able to? Wanting to is one thing. Being able to is another. And how many people were able to but just didn't want to? Donald Trump had both. He wanted to and he was able so far to try to save our country from the brink. And it's on his timeline. Remember that if you get frustrated. There are people dealing with a lot more stuff than we're dealing with. Here's the polls. Here's the polls. And it coming out good for Trump. And James Carville saying it's going to be a blowout.
They're all running, and this is just a downright clown car at this point on the Democratic side. I mean, just take a look here. Top choices for the 2028 Dem-Pres nominee. You have a leader, but it's not really a clear leader. It's within the margin of error. You have Newsom at 19%. Then you have former Vice President Kamala Harris at 18%. Quite a weak number for her, given that, of course, she was the nominee last time around. Pete Buttigieg, who, of course, has run before, 13%. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at 12%. This is just a total clown car. It is a total mess. There is no clear front runner at this particular point on the Democratic side. Who the heck knows who the nominee is going to be in 2 years?
It's been a long time since we've had a Democratic race like this.
Yeah, it has been a long time. This is very unusual for the Democratic side to not have a clear front runner at this point. National early poll leader at least 25%. Look at this. This year, we get the giant question mark. No one. In 2020, when there was no incumbent, it was Joe Biden who was there, Hillary Clinton in both 2008 and 16, and Al Gore in both 2000 and 2004. At this point, we're at least at 25% of the early polls. You have to go all the way back from when I wasn't even in elementary school yet, not even in pre-K yet, to 1992. That was the last cycle in which there was no clear front runner at this point. Very unusual.
Just to be clear, this isn't predicted because she didn't win in this primary and he didn't run. But this gives you a sense of a year out. So what about Newsom? What are the prediction markets saying his odds are?
Yeah, okay. So it seems to me.
He called it a clown car. The Democrats have got a clown car. I concur. Let me see what this one is. I see police ice. Let's see. What is this? What is this video? Let's watch it together. Let me see. Cut my mic off.
have learned 4 people are in ICE custody after being arrested at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse today. I'm Scott Wickersham.
I'm Erica Bryant. The Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office telling Channel 9 that ICE threatened to arrest 3 attorneys for interfering with those arrests. Now, these are the names of the 4 people that we have learned have been arrested by ICE, and they were all due to be in court for hearings today on charges ranging from DWI to child abuse. Last year, the Department of Homeland Security issued guidance saying that ICE agents can conduct civil immigration enforcement in or near courthouses when they have credible information that leads them to believe that their targeted suspects will be present.
Yeah, let's get it through these attorneys' heads. They don't need a warrant from a liberal judge. If they have an administrative warrant or a civil warrant from an immigration judge, they can pick them up and take them. Trump also got a victory in the Supreme Court where IRS has to give the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, information on illegal aliens. So yeah, maybe there needs to be some attorneys going to jail. I want to check into this some more. This was 2 days ago. I want to check into this some more. What do you all know about this? Where'd that galaxy brain guy go that knows everything? You see, when I need people like that, they're not in the chats. When I don't need them, they're all over the place, writing war and peace in the chats. On this day in history, February 23rd, 532, Emperor Justinian laid the foundation for the Hagia Sophia, rising from the ashes of a devastating riot. Workers used 70,000 pounds of gold leaf to coat the interior. The massive basilica took just 6 years to build, standing as the world's largest cathedral in nearly a millennium. For nearly 1,000 years. So 2 days ago was the anniversary of when they put the cornerstone down, laid the foundation. So I wanted to find out more about that. But who do you think tore it down? Anyway, I will keep that in my studio. I want to find out more about it. I'm just looking at the chats. Haha, yeah, that's right. I didn't challenge. I was just saying, for them to not clog up the chats with off-topic droning on and on about monetary stuff we all know about. I talked about Augustus debasing the currency with copper. 2,000 years ago. Tell me I don't know about debasing the currency? I shouldn't even said that. I should have asked him which Roman emperor started debasing the currency, changing out the money. I got what's that? A nice looking young lady that doesn't have a nose ring or purple hair. Yeah, that's what I got on the screen. What does that mean, folks? Means I've got somebody. Whoa. I got somebody that is going to talk some sense. Hopefully. I'm sure she will. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that helped out this week so far. We're in the last week of the month. Holy cow. Miss Mindersu for helping in buy me a coffee. And Wayne and Colette. Where's my booms? I got to put my booms up. Ha ha. This is a kapow! Totally viewer-supported channel. Kaboom! And kapow! This is totally viewer support channel. That's why there's no commercials. And I just put a link in for Buy Me a Coffee at the 152 mark. If anybody wants to help out, it's a link in the chats. There's a link in the description too. I'm not sure if it works or not. But anyway, folks, I'm going to go live tomorrow night if I don't get any bad notices. And I might talk a little bit more about how they took me down. They said I was showing a fire and then arm. I can't say that word together. Fire and then the other word is arm. And broke their policy. And they took me down and I couldn't, I was prohibited from posting anymore. So anyway, I had to appeal it. I'll talk about it's sounded like a setup to me. But anyway, folks, here's this nice young lady. And I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me. And I hope you enjoyed that State of the Union address. I think it's monumental. I think we're going to see a tectonic shift continue. So anyway, folks, I hope you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. Enjoy this video. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
They call you a fascist for wanting secure borders, while they create safe spaces to keep out anybody that they don't agree with. They preach about climate change while flying around in their private jets. They warn you about election interference from foreign countries while fighting against voter ID laws that would prevent it. They promote body positivity unless you're on the other side, then they'll mock you for your weight. They say that you're intolerant, yet shut down and ban any speaker that disagrees with them. And they'll say that you're racist while simultaneously saying that people of color and minorities are too dumb to get IDs to vote. They took religion out of schools claiming indoctrination, but drag queen story hour is fine. And they'll call you a science denier, yet men can be women. And they'll go to No Kings protests, forgetting that their party didn't throw a primary in the 2024 election. They'll call Trump and his administration dictators, like they didn't make people walk around with vaccine cards for years. So please tell me again how liberalism is not a mental illness. Tell me again how the Democratic Party isn't the party of fascism. I'll wait.